Hello there, I'm Debbie Farmer, and I am the director of the Children's Church here at the Blended Church. I am going to be starting a series of training videos specifically to get you comfortable with volunteering here at our Children's Church, whether it be in our nursery, our toddler room, preschool room, and even our big kids church. I want to make sure that you understand just what's expected of you, where things are and how things work. I want to be able to answer all your questions here on a training video. As we know, sometimes it's hard to get together and meet as a group and go over new things or updates. So we want to make sure that we're able to do this in a training video that you will have access to at any time. So now this particular video is all about our nursery. So this will be for all of our babies that are between the ages of 6 months and 24 months, because once they turn 2 years old, they will go across the foyer and join our toddler room, which is specifically for 2-year-olds. So stay tuned and join me for a quick tour as I show you around our nursery. Thank you. So this is where we begin when you're coming into church to go to the nursery. It's off to the opposite side of the sanctuary. You just come down this hallway. And there are, the second door on the right is the entrance to the nursery. There's a double Dutch door here where the nursery workers inside will receive the children. The lower door should always be shut, and you can receive the children over the door. The parents will need to sign in their child, and we'll take a look at that sign-in process here in a minute, but I just wanted you to see that the doors here, sometimes the upper door is closed. If there are some noisy children inside, we will do our best to keep the doors closed to keep the noise down from going into the foyer, but at all times this lower door should be closed. So from the inside of the room, it looks a little bit like this, where the bottom of the door is closed, and we do have a latch on it because there are some small ones who are able to reach up and grab the handle. But for the most part, we don't want the adults to be able to just push the handle on the outside and come on in. The only time they really need to do that is if they have a baby that's in a pumpkin seat or a smaller, and they can't lift them up and over the door. Then one of the volunteers here in the nursery will open the door for them and allow the child to come in. But we do have to be very careful about little ones being around this area because they can't scoot out the door. So we want to make sure that we're all aware of that. Now inside the door is where the sign-in sheet takes place. So whoever is covering the door at the beginning of service will make sure that every parent grabs the clipboard, and on the clipboard it's sideways, but it is the nursery check-in sheet, and it'll ask for the child's first name and their date of birth, as well as the ticket number or the tag number, and if they're allowed to have a snack, because we do provide some animal crackers, and as well as any adult who can pick up the child after service today. Now the reason why we do this is in the event of a lost tag, we want to make sure that a parent or a guardian has been noted on this sheet of paper, so that in the event of a missing tag, they can come forward to claim the child, but they will have to present ID. Since they don't have the tag, they'll have to present the ID, and only those parents or guardians who are listed on this check-in sheet will be allowed to take the child, obviously for security purposes. Here are all the tags that we have. We do have them as wristbands. So as the children come in, you are going to take one of the wristbands. If their tag is number 1, the adult gets one of the wristbands, and they just keep hold of it. They can put it around their wrist. The other wristband is in the event they have a bottle or a sippy cup, and then you would put it around the bottle or sippy cup to ensure that nobody else uses that cup. And then up here on our racks, we do have bins that will hold their belongings. So bin number 1, bin number 2, bin number 3, etc. will correlate with the tags that were given to the parent, which also correlates with the tag number on the sign-in sheet. This is so that you can put any of their clothing or diaper bag, any kind of toys or bottles or snacks that they may have brought in. You want to make sure that each child is accounted for with their own personal belongings in the bins. Also along this wall are just some various sheets of guidelines for nursery that you'll want to take a look at. You should have received these when you first started and you first signed up to be a volunteer in the nursery worker, because it talks about the different expectations that we expect for you to uphold here in the nursery at the Blended Church, as well as the check-in and check-out procedure, and kind of health guidelines that you may need to reference, as well as just the overall commitment that we expect you to uphold while you're here. We do have a monthly rotation schedule that we post on the board. All of our volunteers are set up in teams so that we have once a month that you will be serving here in the nursery. Also, to go along with the check-in, not only will the child or the adult get a tag, but the child will get a name tag. So you want to be sure to write the child's first name and their tag number on the corner and stick it on their back, so that way you can identify each of the children. There are times where we have probably on average 5 or 6 babies here in the room. There are times we've had up to 12 or 13 at a time, so we want to make sure that we can keep track of all the little ones here in the nursery. So let's continue on with our tour of this room. Now this room, it actually, I'm going to pan out here, it actually used to be 2 rooms, and this used to be where we had our preschool rooms, which were the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, but those got quite numerous in number, so we had to move it over to another room, and this became our nursery. So it is one long room. There are 2 entry doors, but this middle door actually leads into the preschool room, and in the event of an emergency, you can go out this door, and to your right it'll lead to an emergency exit which goes outside the building. So here in the nursery we do have on average 3 to 4 adults who will be in the room, and you can decide to choose a comfy rocking chair to sit in and console a baby or to rock them, or if you want to read to them. We do have quite a nice selection of books, and all of the books that are on this shelf are the cardboard type so that the babies won't be ripping at the pages, because of course some of them, being a little bit older, the 20, 22, 23-month-old, they like to turn the pages, they like to pretend to read, and we encourage that, of course. So if they are sitting on the floor or sitting on your lap, we want to encourage them to turn the pages and assist with reading. We have for little ones, we have a little play center that you can put them in. We have a playpen if there is a baby that's sleepy or sleeping and you want to lay them down inside here. This is safe for them so that the other toddlers won't be interfering with stepping on them or what have you. Also in this room we have a separate area for our younger babies. These are for our crawlers, so any of the children that are not yet walking or running, we may want to keep them in this little area because it protects them. This is their own little area that it's soft padded. It's got nice plastic sides, tall enough where they can't climb over, and we have smaller toys in here that are available for them to play with. But we had a situation where we did have 3 or 4 crawlers, and we had 3 or 4 toddlers, and the crawlers really didn't like to be on the floor because of the toddlers running back and forth. So it ended up the volunteers were always holding babies that didn't want to be on the floor. So now we've been able to circumvent that situation by actually a suggestion of one of the volunteers who said we need a separate area for the crawlers, and that is what we have done. So further on down into this room, of course, we have more toys and things that they can interact with. There's a little table here that we do have crayons and paper for some of the older babies that we just want to be careful not to have them setting out, because we know that babies like to put things in their mouth, so we want to avoid that at all costs. The toys here are age appropriate. Again, there's more books. There's age appropriate toys and soft toys and Legos and blocks. Anytime that you are in here and you see any of the toys that may be broken or dangerous or missing pieces, we do ask that you set them to the side so that we can take care of them and remove them or repair them if it's okay to do that. We have a play mat on the ground, which a lot of the little ones like to, do the race cars and push the cars around on the roads and the railroads. So there's plenty of things for the little ones to be interacting with, and of course we don't want to just leave the babies in here to kind of self-entertain, we do want to interact with them. And this is an important part of having you in here as well. So if you can get down on the floor and play with them, or if we have teenagers that are volunteering, we of course welcome them to come in to sit on the floor and interact with the children. We want to make sure that any of the helpers, being the teens, are make sure that they follow all the rules that we have as well, and obey anything that you had asked them to do, whether you make sure they're playing nicely, make sure they're sharing, make sure they're teaching the children to share, and just overall safety with the little ones. Over here on this wall above the play area for the crawlers, we do have a whiteboard that we keep track of our weekly team rotations. So this is in the event that there are any substitutes. If you know you're going to be gone for a particular week, that's your Sunday, you can make arrangements to have somebody else switch with you. And that seems to work out very well, where if you are on team 2, which means that you always serve the second Sunday of the month, and you know that you're going to be gone that weekend, that you can call somebody from team 3 or team 4 or team 1 and ask to switch, so that you would take their spot and they would take yours. And that way we're not left shorthanded. Because again, there are times where we may only have 2 or 3 babies in here, but there have been times recently we've had more than 10. So it is imperative that when it is your week to be a volunteer here in the nursery, that you're committed to either making sure that you're serving, or that you're accounted for, that somebody can sub for you as well. We do also ask that all of our volunteers wear name tags, so that when the parents are dropping off their children, they can get to know you and be familiar with you and your name, and recognize the fact that since you have a name tag, that you are allowed to be in here. Also in this room, we have changing tables, because of course, being 6 months to 24 months, we have infants that wear diapers, and this is the only room in our children's church that we do change diapers with. The toddlers and preschool room, they also may be wearing diapers or pull-ups, but we do not change the diapers in those areas. We do contact the parents. So in this area, we do have changing tables. We have baby wipes and a diaper pail. Now, we do not normally provide diapers. That is where the parents should be dropping off a diaper bag with each baby that comes in. In the event that they didn't have one, there is a small supply of diapers located here in this pink tub that have been donated. Many of the diapers are small. They might be preemies, they might be size 1s. They may not always fit the baby that is in need of one. So that's why it's imperative that we make sure that when a baby is being dropped off, that we ask the parent that they have an extra diaper, a spare diaper in the diaper bag. So continuing on in the room, we do have a small pantry in which we keep extra things such as Clorox spray. We do have some things that were donated that are chemical-free disinfectants, as well as toy cleaners. These are the kind of things that can be used where if you see a child that is chewing, and they do have teething situations, that if they're teething or drooling on items that are toys that may be played with by another child, we do ask that you spray them down and wipe them down for the next baby. In this cabinet, we have a double lock on it so that the children, because they know what's in here, can't get in here. But in here on the top shelf, we have our snacks. Now, we do sometimes have Nilla wafers, we have animal crackers, sometimes we have Cheez-Its. Again, they're small crackers that are able for an infant to chew on or suck on. We do clearly want to make sure that the parent has given us permission to give snacks, and that'll be indicated on the sign-in sheet. Sometimes they supply their own snacks, so we want to be very vigilant about making sure about this because of the severe issues with allergies. We also have small Dixie cups or sippy cups in the event that they didn't bring anything, and we will have bottles of water in here that if an infant needs a drink of water, we will provide them with that. Tissues and hand sanitizer. There are also, again, paper towels. This is where you can find extra trash can liners. In the event that there is a dirty diaper at the end of your service, or especially at the end of by the end of second service, we do ask that you please remove the trash liner from the diaper pail and take it out into the trash and then replace the liner, because we don't want that dirty diaper smelling in this room all week long. We do have a cleaning team that comes in, but they don't come in until the following Saturday. So please be aware of emptying out the trash. Again, there's 2 small trash cans in the liners, as well as the diaper pail, and all those liners can be found in here. Lower down on the shelf, we do have, again, some extra wipes. We do have some extra diapers in here as well. Again, a lot of them are the smaller sizes, so if there is a need for them, we may not have the right size, but again, if it can fit, any size will probably do in the event of an emergency. So also in this room, it's not normally this quiet. We do have a lot of chattering babies or things going on. We do have a TV that will play videos as well as music, and we always want to have something playing at all times, just because it is a noise reducer for hearing noise out in the foyer, but it also kind of breaks up the quietness in this room. We have VeggieTale videos. We also have music videos, sing-along songs. So a selection of DVDs and CDs can be found on this table. And with the remote, you can simply come up to the DVD player right here. The VCR is a working VCR, but we don't use it at this time. The DVD player with its controls are up there. And then for volume purposes on the TV, you would just adjust the volume on the lower controls of the TV. Over here on this other shelf, we do have some equipment that is actually not related to the nursery, so we do ask that you do not touch any of the controls on these machines. They are for other purposes from the sound booth, so this is kind of the one of the only areas that we were able to keep them to the side where very few, if anybody, would have access to. So once again, please do not touch any of the controls that are located on this machine. So here is what the nursery should look like when you come in for either first service or second service. It should be neat, the books should be up, toys are off the ground, and just a general tidy condition and state. This is how we want the nursery to look at the beginning of first service, the beginning of second service, and as well at the end of second service. So if you are a second service volunteer, we do ask that all of the volunteers assist with cleaning up the toys, picking up the books, making sure everything is neat and tidy. The cabinets are closed, the trash cans have been emptied, and you can bring the trash out into the foyer. The diaper pail has been emptied. Again, just general conditions of tidiness. You also want to make sure that the DVD player and TV are turned off, and you could just do that by stopping the video with the remote. And then you can turn the DVD player off with the remote as well. And then the TV would be turned off by this bottom right power button. So both the TV and the DVD player are off. The sign-in sheet for today has today's date on it, and we want to make sure that it can be, leave it right here so that it can be collected at the end of the evening. You do want to go ahead and turn the lights off in the room. The front lights, again, this used to be 2 rooms, so the front lights will be located there, and the back of the room, the light switch is located by the door. So you do want to hit off both light switches. So again, once you have made sure that everything is turned off and cleaned up, we do ask that you turn off the lights and close the doors. We so appreciate the fact that you were willing to be a servant of the Lord and to serve in the children's church here in our nursery. Taking care of little ones is fun. It can also be challenging at times, especially when you have several of them crying at the same time. But for the most part, it is so rewarding to interact and play with them, as well as encourage and praise them as often as possible. This is a very big and important part of the parents' need to hear the word in the sanctuary, as well as others, that where we can allow others the same luxury without a crying or squirming babies in the sanctuary to be a distraction during service. So again, rejoice that the Lord has called you and placed it on your heart to be a servant in our children's church. We again so appreciate you. It is an honor to have you on our volunteer teams. We value you. And really, I just can't say it enough as to how much I appreciate your dedication and faithfulness. You are a key role as to how Children's Church here at TBC continues to grow and to be as good as it is. If you do have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to contact me at the church office. And the phone number there is 290-1015, or you can email me at debbie@theblendedchurch.com. So again, thank you, and God bless you.